Listen to me, everyone. Listen, all you dummies out there, listen to me right now before you hit me up with this Chuba Hubbard BS. Okay. So, yes, I'm addressing the dummies, but that's before you do something stupid. So, don't, how you going to take offense, right? How you going to take offense if I'm attacking you before it happens, right?
No,
You
you
can't
got
take offense. Just don't take it personal. But listen up, you freaking idiots, you freaking dummies who are gonna hit me up about this Eli Mitchell BS about me blowing my FAB on Eli Mitchell, which I still like, by the way. I still would have done it because you know what? All the other Niners running backs are hurt and they're playing the Packers. So Eli Mitchell's hurt too, but hopefully it's minor. Anyway, I would have still done it. I would have still spent 100% FAB on Eli Mitchell. And now you're gonna hit me up with this BS about Chuba Hubbard. I would have rather blew all my FAB, blow your whole load on Chuba Hubbard. Listen up, you freaking dummies. I'm the same guy who had Chuba Hubbard as a huge sleeper since day zero. So how you going to tell me I'm giving irresponsible, stupid advice when I already said to pick up Chuba Hubbard? Guess who owns Chuba Hubbard? Take a guess.
you do in a lot of leagues.
Oh, yes. Me and Mike.
I'm in a couple leagues with you.
Me and Mike own Chuba Hubbard in every single league.
It's
so
true,
what
guys.
are we doing? Okay. I already own Chuba Hubbard. What? It's not $0 and FAB, whatever. I'm spending no FAB. I already have Chuba Hubbard.
You were getting him pretty late too. You were getting him pretty late in their drafts.
He's not. I got him in round
last
12
round of
at the absolute earliest. I don't even consider him I get him in round 14. He's my last pick. I either went Devontae Booker or Chuba Hubbard in round 14. So what are you guys going to talk about? And you know what? I already know you guys are scared. You guys aren't even going to blow your load on Chuba Hubbard. You guys aren't going to even spend 100% FAB on Chuba Hubbard because you're already scared. What are you waiting for? Cordell Patterson? I know you didn't show me that you spent 100% FAB on Cordell Patterson. Everyone's going to laugh at you. Go tweet that screenshot to me. Go show that screen. I know you didn't because you're scared. You already know Cordell Patterson's not worth that. Cordell Patterson's worth 10, 15% of your FAB. That's fine. I like him. He's not worth 100%. I mean, if you're not spending 100% on Eli, you're not spending 100% on Cordell, right? Is that the same human, right? If you don't spend 100%, you're definitely not on Cordell, right? True.
Yeah, it's not the
There's
same
no
risk
way.
move. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no one is, but I mean, especially if you're not doing 100% on Eli. And I already admitted. I admit that it's a bold, risky move. I admit that I might get 2, 3, 4 weeks out of Eli Mitchell. If that's gonna buy me 3 W's, I'll spend all my FAB if that's gonna get me 2 W's. 2 wins? Are you kidding me? 2 wins for NFL team. You know what 2 wins means in a fantasy league? 2 wins, guys. What is that? Drew? What are we doing?
Every week's like playing Alabama, I heard.
We're doing 14 weeks, right? 14
weeks
is
because
the regular
of the one extra game this season. Yep.
That's 21.4% of your season. That's nearly a quarter of your season. Are you kidding me? That's 3 wins. If you got 3 wins. That's what I'm saying, man. How much you spending on Chuba Hubbard? I already told you to get him. I already have him. I didn't drop him either. You should have already got this guy. All we know is it's hamstring, right? We have no other info on CMC. So, by the way, for those listening to the audio podcast, whatever, welcome. We're going to be talking about Thursday Night Football brief, the important stuff. Thursday Night Football, me going over my Monkey Knife Fight picks. This episode is sponsored by MKF. Shout out to them. And we're going to be introducing Debbie, Drew, talking a little bit about Dynasty and answering all your questions. I don't want to answer any questions right now, but this is let's bring up Albert's. That's a good question to ask. So how much, this is something that I should address. How much FAB should you spend on Chuba Hubbard? So if you didn't draft him or you're in a 10 team, I'm not mad at you guys for not having it. I'm just addressing these haters that are going to possibly come out of nowhere.
Attacked lately.
Yeah, I'm just gonna the when they come out of the bushes and drop down from the palm trees and try to scare me. There's probably one right outside of my house right now trying to scare me. Oh, FAB, shut up. Before you come out, I already said this. I already spent said I'm spending 100% on Eli Mitchell. If I went back in time, I'd still spend 100% on Eli Mitchell. And I already drafted Chuba Hubbard. All the good. He was the best value handcuff out there. I also like Tony Pollard, but Tony Pollard
Madison's
was going
a good one.
Not as good as a value.
No, maybe not.
One.
But
he's a top 5 handcuff for sure. He's there's not that many out there. Yeah, he's a good one, not a great one. And Chuba Hubbard honestly doesn't look that good in regular season games. Looked a lot better.
Get any room.
But yeah, he doesn't look that good. I still have some hope for him. Royce Freeman will be thrown in there just to take some pressure off Chuba and whatnot. But Chuba still has a lot of upside, and he hasn't looked as good as I thought he might. But I still believe in some of that upside. So how much should you spend on Chuba Hubbard? So first thing we need to address: Christian McCaffrey went down. He was ruled out. I'd say very fast. I'd say like abnormally fast.
Pretty immediate.
Was ruled out for the rest of the game. That fast, I think that's a bad sign. So if you had to guess, Drew, how many weeks is he? Like, what are you thinking? Like, what's the severity of this injury?
5 or 6 weeks. I mean, I saw someone in the Discord say that they saw a pop. I don't know how true that is, but
was it like a whack guy in the Discord, or you think an OG?
No, it's Toast.
Okay, so he's like one of the most trusted guys in the Discord. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean,
he's thinking he saw that. Yeah.
I think it's going to be at least a handful of weeks, if not longer, guys.
So you think
Chuba Hubbard did get loose a little bit. He had 52 yards, I think it was, on 11 carries. But I think Royce Freeman made an appearance. Too bad Mikey's not on the stream tonight. He's a Royce Freeman truther.
Well,
hopefully he logs in soon.
It just doesn't really.
Chat.
Irrelevant.
It's just who else do you think they're going to go and get?
I need you to focus. What's wrong with Christian? We're talking one thing at a time. We're talking about Christian McCaffrey. He's going to miss significant time. All right. Hamstring injuries linger a lot. Okay. Let's just say 6 weeks because of that lingering thing.
To be fair.
Right. Could be 8 weeks.
He's not going to be
could be 2 to 4 weeks. But let's just say 6 weeks because he can come back, he get hurt. There's so much going on. And I mean, it literally did happen last year. He had a little injury, then he came back, got hurt. Like, this is the same guy. No, totally different situation, but this is the same guy. And I mean, we've seen this, right, with Julio, with Danny Woodhead. Like, we've seen this. These are hamstring injuries. So we've seen this before. So we'll just say he's out 6 weeks just to make our projections, right? So Chuba Hubbard, I'm looking at him. He's not looking as good as I thought his upside was, but I'm still hopeful of Chuba Hubbard. Loved him as a prospect, loved his upside. I love the draft pick by the Panthers. So I still think he's good. My top 5 running back thing, let's throw that out. Let's say he's not going to be top 5. Let's say he's going to be top 10. So, and there's a lot of murky running backs out there this year. So I think being top 10 should be really easy. Actually, look at all these crappy running backs and injuries, dude. I mean, Tyson Williams is a top 10 running back. It's looking like possibly. Like, it's really murky. There's a lot of bust, a lot of worries, a lot of inconsistency at running back. Even Kamara was. I mean, I thought Kamara would do great last week. Yeah, I mean, it's scary out there. So, I think if you missed out on Eli Mitchell, I think 100%. Why not? What are you holding your FAB for? You're waiting for Dalvin Cook to get her. I mean, what are we waiting on?
Yeah,
what are these?
What
are these haters telling me? Like, so who's the guy? Who's the guy? Like, what's gonna happen? Nick Chubb's gonna get hurt. Kareem Hunt's owned in every league. Alexander Madison, if he's not owned in every league, he's going to be rostered in every league. I have the opportunity to listen to the people. Everyone's asking if they should pick up Alexander Madison because Dalvin Cook has a minor injury. So I don't like what's going to happen, Drew. Zeke's going to get hurt. Everyone owns Tony Pollard. I know because everyone's asking if they should start Tony Pollard. So I don't know what Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to get hurt.
I'm trying to think if I have many leagues where Chuba Hubbard or Madison is available, to be honest with you. Like, I'm trying to think.
If you're in a 10, well, you mean you play like Come on.
I
This
mean,
is couch
seriously,
fam.
these
This is
guys are all
couch
going in
fam.
my team.
Because it's couch.
I'm like, how much would I spend? I mean, I don't even think I'd have that opportunity, but I'd spend it all.
Because these people are smart. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you're in a 10-team league, look, Chuba Hubbard's probably not rostered, but if you're in a league with me, if you're in a couch fam league, you're in a 12-team league or deeper, Chuba Hubbard's usually rostered.
He's gone.
I'm pushing Chuba Hubbard hard. He was in my sleepers video. I've been talking to him. You guys see me draft him. I draft him in round 14, 13.
He was good at Oklahoma State.
He was
Him and Tylen
amazing.
Wallace
We've
played on
talked
the same
about him
offense
on this
together.
podcast because I remember
For sure.
talking to you. When else would I talk to you on a video? Other than this, we talked about him. We had to have talked about him on this podcast. I remember talking to you about him. So we talked about this guy.
James asked, should I trade for Chuba?
This question
sorry.
means nothing. I can't answer this question. I mean,
That's
it depends what you
You're
get,
gonna have
right?
to make a big play for him now because the owner on the other side is probably holding his cards, thinking he can get a lot.
If you can get him for 2 peanuts, with or without the shells, do it. But if you have to give away the whole Milky Way bar, don't do it. What do you want me to say, bro? I can't. What am I gonna do? Hack your lineup and make a trade? Like, that's crazy. What, you think you're gonna give me your login, pay me $10 to take over your lineup? That's mad talk.
That was supposed to be yesterday.
Yeah, well, yeah, supposed to be, but I'm on the public.
He had a little injury himself.
Yeah,
you want to address your injury?
We'll talk about this after the ad read. We will answer questions and talk Dynasty. So Chuba Hubbard.
That's a Dynasty question, by the way.
Chuba Hubbard, 100%. I'd probably spend 100% FAB. I'm not pushing it. What do you? I was going to ask you. So you agree?
There's no doubt. Of course. I mean, like you said, 6 weeks we're thinking minimum. Even if he comes back in 6 weeks, he might not be great for 8 weeks. And we're being generous here, I think. It could be 10 weeks, 12 weeks. So, you got to get him right away, too. Put your claim right now before you go to bed. You still got a day, let it sit, but you do it.
So I don't think you can get him till next week because he just played, actually.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking it's freaking Monday.
No, you got
where I'm at.
Your internet is slow, by the way. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this segment. Can you take your phone off Wi-Fi? Just close out your other apps. I don't know. Let's got the laggy internet. Thursday Night Football. Let's finish this off. I was dying to spend 100% FAB on Eli Mitchell. I'm not dying to spend 100% FAB on Chuba. But I think you gotta. There may not be many other opportunities like this, and if there is, name one, right? Name one, because we're talking about a running back. It's not the same with the Chase Claypool last year, who I went all in on some leagues, not all leagues, and it didn't work out. I think there's a lot of immaturity there on Claypool's part, but it didn't. I took my shot and missed. I spent 30% FAB. I spent 0% FAB. I spent 100% FAB on Claypool. And look, that's just the wide receiver. It's different with the running back.
Is the most key. In terms of
fantasy. There could be the next Logan Thomas, possibly. There's one every other year. But
you just want to have the matchup advantage each week with the running back position because wide receivers.
Yeah,
there's
it's scary.
More of them that can score points for you.
And then on top of that, when and if the next Chuba Hubbard or Logan Thomas or Darren Waller come, you're going to be competing against 5 other scaredy cats who save up their FAB for no reason. So, I mean, I'm just saying, if you got the number one waiver priority claim, you got the tiebreaker and the 100%, then you would beat the tie. But I'm speaking in general. You're going to be going up against 5 other frugal fantasy managers, 5 other cheap FAB hoarders, FAB hoarders, aka scaredy cats. So I guess you got
to this photo here. I want you to talk a little bit about this. Davis Mills.
Well, we'll talk Tommy Tremble, I guess, in the Dynasty. So we got Tommy Tremble getting some snaps, getting some targets. Really excited for that. Davis Mills, he didn't look that bad, but I mean, it's the Texans. I mean, they lost. It's like getting in the ring with Mike Tyson. And when I say that, I mean the Texans getting in, playing literally any game this year. I mean, it was just doomed from the start. Is rumored to be. This is a famous social media icon here on the right. I know some people would recognize him. His name is Daddy Longlegs.
I do not recognize him.
Yeah, there's the guy with the big neck. There's a thick neck dude. And then there's Daddy Longlegs. They made a little like short video together. So there's a thick neck. He has the
That's gotta be
thickest neck
great.
in the world. And then this guy has the skinniest, longest neck in the world. So his name's Daddy Longlegs. And Davis Mills is rumored to be his father. I don't know if that's going to check out. He's probably like 5 years older than him. Maybe like 3, maybe like 2 years older than him. Davis Mills is a
I think
rookie.
Tyrod can come back right when he's eligible from IR, because they have, Cooks and Ingram and a couple other veterans. I'm sure they want to win a couple games.
Anthony Miller's
They're not going to win many.
Anthony Miller's back, baby.
He's back.
You don't want to win. You don't want to win any games.
The Texans probably not.
You want to look like you want to win.
Yeah, and that's why they got those veterans. That's exactly why. Ingram, Enzi. I mean, they got guys that they can at least say, hey, we paid money to these guys to be on the team. And Ingram looked horrible. He's getting at least some touches. He's a pick sometimes. Guys like that can help your depth at least for running back position.
You're cutting in and out. I don't know what's up with your connection. You need to spice up your connection. Thursday night football. Anything else that's
DJ
important?
Moore had a day. DJ Moore had a good day.
The wide receiver won on the Panthers.
Yeah. Big plays. I mean, he didn't get in the end zone, did he? I think Sam Darnold ran one in, but he looked good. He looked real good.
I would add Royce Freeman's worth an ad for $0, I think.
You want to go back to that? Mikey might have a point. He looked decent on a few runs. He's going to get a couple snaps here and there, and he can block.
But I would, if I had room, I'd put a $0 claim. I wouldn't burn a high roster.
But at least put something in.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically non-news because Brandon Cooks is, he seems like a must start every week. I think that's
he's a target hog.
It's already been established, and that's why I told literally everyone to start Brandon Cooks this week. And it was a guy I was not high on because I'm worried about Texans players in general, teams like that, franchises like that. But the Texans, man, they showed a lot more grit than I give them for. I thought they would just give up on the season, and they did not. And they're doing some things out there. I'm not saying that they're all good, but yeah, Brandon Cooks I think is an automatic start every week. And I hopped off my original draft prediction, and I'm telling everyone to start him, and I told everyone to start him this week, and it's just an automatic start.
I like it.
Let's move on to. Other than that, I mean, it was unfortunately the injury was the highlight, and Panthers just smashed the Texans, and it is what it is. Expected. Let's move on to the ad read. So Monkey Knife Fight, guys, we are crushing it on here. Show last week's picks. Those are all my previous picks right here. So we almost won Thursday night football.
Could have bumped that Seattle Titans game touchdown total up. Geez.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to risk too much on this. So first game, right? Thursday night football. It was a huge promotion. Football was back. Almost got that one with the more or less for Brady. By the way, Monkey Knife Fight is daily fantasy football player props. It's stupid simple to win. It's easy to win. Super stupid simple to play, easy to win. So that one we almost won, but then we came back with a vengeance. I doubled down from the week before, so I just started out with $5 just to warm my hamstrings up. Next week came back with entered twice as much money. Killed it with the more or less, went less with Matt Ryan, more for Jalen Hurts. Absolutely crushed it. Matt Ryan threw like almost no yards. It was insane. Absolutely crushed it. Then again, the same amount and entry fee. We crushed it even more in the touchdown dance. And didn't I tell you about this? Didn't I tell you this was a good one? Oh, Derrick Henry. So you pick 3 players to get over 1.5 touchdowns. So 2 or more. 3 players. I picked Derrick Henry, Chris Carson, and DK Metcalf. We got 5 touchdowns out of those 3. That was insane. So this week, these are my 2 picks. I actually had 3, but I think they're catching on. They're not letting us get the 2x, and so I found some other ones with 2x. So I was gonna go with the Vikings game. What was it? Viking Seahawks? I think it's a Viking. That's what I was gonna go with, but they're only paying out 1.5. We can't do that. We want a bigger payday. So this is what's going on. These are my 2 picks right here. So the first one, the one I love, we're going back to the Derrick Henry well. So that's going to be the Titans and Colts game.
Colts, yep.
So we got Derrick Henry. So touchdown. So you go to Monkey Knife Fight. You go to new game. You go to the Titans Colts. Select touchdown dance. I'm going Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and literally anybody else. And that would the top 2 would be Julio or AJ Brown. My algorithm show me AJ Brown has 15% higher chance of getting in the end zone, so I'm going to go with AJ Brown. Derrick Henry has an 80% chance to get in the end zone. Jonathan Taylor, 70% chance to get in the end zone. AJ Brown, over a 60% chance to get in the end zone. So I absolutely love this one. It's going to be
Derrick Henry probably has 50% chance of getting in the end zone twice.
Yeah, he could
by himself.
I'm very conservative with my projections, so
I get it.
I like this. This is actually a contest that I enter myself with my money. By the way, I'm showing screenshots of my account here, and that's my wins from last week as well. So I like that one. We couldn't get the 2x payout on the Viking Seahawks game. I was going to go Dalvin, Chris Carson. No. You could. I think you can go with. I did 100, so I'm thinking you can go with 200, 300. You pretty much could pick whatever you want. The minimum is $2. So, yeah, last year or 2 years ago, I did $100 and I won 300 on more or less, something like that. So yeah, you can do whatever that's what's cool about it. You're not going up against any sharks. You're not going up against even people as good as me. There's people better than me at this stuff for sure. You're not going up against any of those guys. You're just going up against the line, picking 3 guys to score 2 or more touchdowns. That's it. That's all you're doing with the touchdown dance, or more or less. I usually stick to those 2. So I like that game. That's going to be a good. It's projected to have a good amount of scoring and touchdowns that game. Now, the second game I like is not projected to be high scoring, but we're really concentrating on the touchdowns. So the next game, again, you go to new game, you go to the Bears Browns game. Between Chubb and Hunt, you got to figure they get in the end zone between those 2. God. So we're going very conservative. Nick Chubb has nearly a 90% chance
He's a magnet.
of getting in the end. Can you believe that? 90% chance of getting in the end zone.
Oh, I can
Kareem Hunt, slightly over 50% chance of getting in, and Montgomery has about 2/3 chance of getting in the end zone. So yeah, if you want to, boost your upside and pick a higher goal, which I never do, I'll pick the lowest goal, which is 2 or more touchdowns. You want to go with Kareem Hunt, low upside, because you figure, you got Chubb and Hunt. Between those 2, right, they're going to at least get 1 touchdown. And so I love this one.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. And so, man, I'm going with these 2. And, if I lose one of them, I will break even. And, yeah, those are my picks. So, again, I'm going to Monkey Knife Fight, going to new game, going to the Titans Colts game, picking Henry, Taylor, and then you could go with A.J. Brown if you want Julio. That's one pick. My next pick, I'm going with the Bears game, Browns game. I'm going Nick Chubb, Hunt, and I'm going with Montgomery, the 3 essentially workhorse running backs. So, yep, those are my picks. And we have a special offer that's going to really help out Fantasy Couch. We're living the dream, and we're going to continue living the dream, continue this strong community, and it really helps us out. And I'm telling you guys, this deal is insane. I would never lie to you guys. I get 100 offers from a bunch of crap. I only accept 3 offers, 4 offers, sometimes 1 offer per year. I don't do stuff I don't believe in. I don't do stuff that I don't play myself. Monkey Knife Fight is an incredible deal. Just follow the link below in the description. Play mkf.com/couch. You're going to get $5 free to play. So you can enter one of those that I just did for free. You don't have to do nothing, no deposit, nothing. It's just going to give you $5 free play. So follow the link, and then if and when you decide to deposit, use promo code COUCH. You're going to get 100% deposit match up to $100. So use my link, use the promo code. You put in 100, you're going to have $205 in your account. That's insane. I mean, that'll last you the whole season. Like, just don't spoil it.
Playing your picks, you might have.
Don't, yeah, just play my pick. I'm gonna win at least 50% of the time. Look at the rate I'm going at, guys. Come on, just don't be an idiot. Don't be a dummy. All right, just don't be a dummy. Don't go too crazy. That's what I love about. So they will have, on occasion, they'll have these crazy contests. You know, win 1,000, win 10,000. Like, those are dope and everything. I'm nothing against that, but they have these real contests. They're super easy to win. Like, you can win those. Yeah, I'm only winning 10, $20 here, but I'm only entering $5, $10 contest. You know, if you want to enter a $100 contest, you can easily win 360, 300, and it's doable. Like, it's realistically attainable. If you're smart, if you're responsible, you can do it. Again, go to the link, $5 free play, use promo code COUCH. 100% deposit match, $5 free play. Monkey Knife Fight, big shout out to you. Let's move on to the next segment. Oh, somebody likes it. Hey, Discord. About what?
It's just Derrick Henry going off. I mean, you had to just be stoked.
Well, I mean, I had him ranked super high. You know, a lot of
that second.
Yeah, I mean,
goes in.
I only entered 10. I only entered $10, but I love that when my pick, you know, I reckon, like, I saw a lot of people play last week, by the way. This is the first time, like, Discord was finally like, let's play. You know, like, what is this MKF stuff he keeps talking about? Let's play. And so they played, and they were like, this is free money. And I didn't say nothing. I'm like, it's never, I mean, there's always, like, you can always lose, but I was like, I was like, it's a great pick. And it just absolutely crushed it. Chris Moose put in the 2.5 goal. And so I was like,
he was rooting hard for
don't do that again. But yes, like, yeah, we got that goal too. We got all the goals. Yeah. So I mean, I'm showing what I picked too. Like, you know, I got $5 in that, $5 in that. It's fun, right? Just put in a little. Just try. All I'm saying is try it out. Yeah, all right. Enough. Yes, she's saying enough talk about that. Shut up. Let's talk about Tommy Tremble. So I want to introduce you guys to the guy right below me on the screen. I know you guys are on audio podcast too. So it's usually me and Mike doing the podcast. Mike's still part of it. He just can't do it sometimes. So we're trying to do a 3-man podcast. That's, you know, that is what it is. I just want to make it clear that Mike's not like fired or away. He just can't do it sometimes. That's all.
So talk to him every single day.
Yeah, Mike's still in this, but we do have a new member of the podcast, Andrew Eggers, and we're giving him a new nickname, Devi Drew. He just started a Devi League, and he's getting a lot more into Dynasty, more and more every year. And so just really quick, explain to them exactly what a Devi League is, because you know better than me.
No, it's great. So imagine a Dynasty League. So you're keeping every single player, and you're having rookie drafts each year. But the idea is that you're also drafting and rostering college players. And you're able to roster these college players until they elevate into the NFL, and then they become your players. The idea is that in a startup Devi League, that you're going to have a pretty long draft, because usually these are going to be really deep leagues. And you're going to draft kickers, you're going to draft IDP players maybe, and these are placeholders, right? So these are placeholders on where you may actually draft in the future for your Devi draft. So it's developmental fantasy football. You're drafting college players, and that's just
Are you looking at high school players as well, 5-star recruits, whatnot?
If you're really into it, you are. Absolutely. As a person who plays it myself, I haven't got that far into it yet. But even getting into like the 2024 class of players, which are just like the freshmen on campus now. I mean, those guys were just in high school last year. So yeah, you're into it to that level. And ultimately, go ahead.
This is what we're gonna do right now. So we're answering all fantasy questions right now. That's this segment. Dynasty questions get pushed up to the front. So if you have a dynasty question that gets answered If you have a regular fantasy question, we'll try to get to that as well. Drew's doing Devi, and he wanted to talk more and more about Devi. And I was like, look, man, it's still not, it's a niche within a niche within a niche. It's still not there yet. But him being more into Devi and more into Dynasty, I think we can talk more about Dynasty. And so I was excited with that. Like, hey, we can bring in every 4 weeks or something. We can bring in some Dynasty content. And you guys with your questions spark a lot of good conversation. So let's talk Dynasty right now if we can. If you got any Dynasty questions, ask them right now. And regular fantasy questions as well, but Dynasty questions are preferred. So in our Empire League, Drew, I mean, how sexy is this? I mean, all my trades are extremely sexy. Like, I mean, this is just jaw-dropping sexiness everywhere. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire for essentially for a 2022 first and a 2024 first. Love it. And my last trade, what did I do? It was a decent trade. I mean, let's just say I got a good trade out of it, but I squeezed in last minute. You think you're done with the lemon or the orange, and then you're like, let me give it one more squeeze.
I'll take another second round pick.
Oh, no. I got Tommy Tremble.
Oh, even better.
Tommy Tremble. I think I traded away Godwin or something. And so
yeah, that was your Godwin trade.
I think I won the trade, but that's not the point. Like, the guy got Godwin, like, it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna boast about that, but I am boasting about that last drip of orange juice that at the end. I was right about to hit accept, and this is from Ben, by the way. Ben is the most the least responsive guy in the whole league.
He lives in New Zealand, I believe. So
Ben? No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
What?
Oh no, not Ben. Justin. You
no, that's fine. He's on a no. I know Justin. He's in South Africa. Trades. Okay. He's on the same time zone as Gene. Like, that's a time zone thing. Gene's a busy dude too, but Gene will get back to you on a trade. Like, he's pretty responsive.
He's on top of it.
Ben is the least responsive dude in the league.
You're right.
So I was freaking out. I was like, man, I'm gonna lose this trade over greed. But I was like, hey, you only leave once. Let's squeeze the orange juice. I don't care how long it takes to get this drip out. If the orange falls on the ground, so be it. No orange juice for me. No nothing. I'm not even gonna eat today. No juice, no nothing. No liquids, no solids, no nothing today. Tomorrow we eat, but today we don't. I was like, let me risk it. And so he wasn't responding. I was like, oh my God, I could just hit it because the trade's still sitting there. And then he finally got back to me an hour later. And guys, we're talking back and forth. And then he sends me a BS trade. He's like, give me Zach Ertz. I forgot what it was, but it was like Zach Ertz. Oh no, he tried to get Goddard from me all of a sudden. I was like, what? That's not what I said. I said throw in Tremble. We got a deal. He's like, oh, I had to give it a try. And then he sent back the exact same trade, but threw in Tommy Tremble. And I was like, yes. I'm rebuilding. So I'm trying to get all these young players. So I was like, yeah, I got the same killer deal, but he just threw in Tommy Tremble last minute. So it was a game of chicken for sure. And he was really revving the engine. And I was like, man, I might go off the cliff here, but I won the game of chicken. He sent me the same exact trade offer, which was great. And he added Tommy Tremble, and we're already seeing Tommy Tremble. I thought he would I didn't even expect him to play today, to be honest. I was surprised.
Yeah, he played a couple different tight end roles too. Out of the backfield, down the field, catching passes, blocking them.
Crappy blocker, great.
Wasn't too good in that first series, I think.
Which is awesome. Yeah,
Sam got crushed.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm so excited with Tommy Tremble. I'm probably gonna sell on. Can you believe that Mike Gesicki's? Me and Drew traded Gesicki and Kmet. I got Kmet. Can you believe Kmet's not looking good, but can you believe he's Gesicki's even worse? Yeah. So I'm thinking of selling Kmet. I just don't like what I see from him. I don't think he's fast. I don't think he's that good. And I have Pat Freiermuth and Goddard. What do I need? And Tommy Tremble.
Justin Fields to catch on with Kmet and then trade him. Maybe in a few weeks from now.
That's another thing. There's also no rush for me to trade. I was about to put him on the trade. I was like, yeah, let me just wait. Like, what's the, It doesn't hurt.
I don't know if this is necessarily a dynasty question. Should we skip over? I think.
But
it
if
would
we
be,
have
right?
no dynasty questions, then we have no choice.
Well, I did want to tell you one thing real quick, though, before we get into this question. So if you're getting a 2022 first and you're getting a 2023 first, sorry, you're looking at a pretty good class in 2023. I think we talked about it, but just a couple of names to throw out there is like Bijan Robinson. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, who had a tough game against Clemson last week.
What positions? Let's talk positions.
These are all running backs. So
2023 is stacked at every position,
Bigsby,
right?
Tank Bigsby might be like him and Bijan Robinson are like 1 and 2 right now. You're looking really good, is my point. 2023 is the year of the running back.
What about
a lot of other position players?
Is 22 class underrated? Is there some good wide receivers there, or is it really just a crappy class?
In the 2022 is what you're asking?
Yeah, 22.
No, there's some good guys in there. I mean, when you look at it, Treylon Burks probably is the best one right now. Wilson and David Bell got hurt, unfortunately, but he was playing really well. And then you do have a couple other guys further down that I think are pretty good. Justin Ross, for example, I think he's a stud at Clemson. So I think you do have, and Drake London. I don't want to forget Drake London. He's been going off for USC.
What are these
insane
positions?
These are all wide receivers. You just asked
all wide receivers.
Yeah, I just gave all wide receivers right there.
And there's a good amount. Okay.
Chris Olave is another one who could commit this next year or to the draft. Yeah, so there's a handful of good wide receivers coming out next year. Not so many running backs.
Got you. So I mean, I got insane. I got like a dozen first and seconds the next 3 years.
This is a good race. Shane is a nifty expert in my opinion.
By the way, you're still cutting out, so you gotta just talk fast, talk less.
Cut me off if you need to. RB's Galore 2024, super thick at quarterback, which we'll get to. We won't go over 2024 too much right now.
So 24, you're gonna do some more research.
Oh, yeah, it's going to take more time for the 2024 class. But there's guys like Travion Henderson. He's a stud who just took over like running back position in Ohio State. Will Shipley, he's another one, took over at Clemson. The running back position, I mean, there's just a lot of talent in college football right now, top of these really good programs.
Yeah, by the way, guys, I did suffer an injury. I thought it could be major. Woke up last night, couldn't move my arm, couldn't bend it. Pain was like extreme. I was laying down, and long story short, went to the doctor, and thankfully it's just what they call bicep tendonitis, minor injury that just so happened overnight to flare up, get extreme inflammation, and they shot me up with that Tony Romo special. I got right back in the game. I actually uploaded more videos this week. I did unboxing of my NFT back there. Not a lot of people have an NFT. I got myself, give me a big screen on here. I got myself an actual physical NFT.
This is really cool, by the way, guys.
It's sick. Yeah, well, I think the battery's dead, so it's essentially a mini iPad, but it's framed like in a nice kind of sports card frame. And it's just super sick, and it's very exclusive. Probably less than 2,000 people have this one, and it's super sick. So I just put that unboxing video on this YouTube channel, and yeah, man. So 4 to 6 weeks, I just have to take it easy. Once they gave me the shot, I was, oh my god, it felt 100 times better, and then today it feels 100 times better than that.
Well, that's
so
you're actually able to lift it.
Yeah, I mean it's still bad, but it's cool. Like, man, yesterday it was more mental, man, because what happened was I was scared to move it and bend it, and that caused my hand to swell because I'm not using it. Caused my hand to swell up. It turned red and blue. Now I'm freaking out. I'm like, it could be a blood clot. I can die. Like, it could be surgery. I'm like, how did I tear it in my, like, what is it? Like, what is this? And so it was worse. And so when I'm not moving it, it hurts more. And so I'm like, oh, I can move it. I just got to be really careful. I can't move it certain ways. Like, I'm extending it here. Like, it's just certain way. I just got to be careful with it. And so the mental aspect got me freaking out even more because I'm like, oh man, don't move it. It's going to hurt. That excruciating pain is going to come back. and it caused other stuff. My hand was like disgusting. Like it still is. I think it still is a little bigger.
Looks a little bigger.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, bro, it was all blue and red and way bigger. And so I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm like this. I'm like, I can't even walk, man. It was so bad. So I'm good to go.
Sounds horrible.
I'm so it's all perspective. Once he gave me that news, I was like, oh man, anxiety went down. And then they gave me the shot. Oh my God. I got the Tony Romo special. It was like, damn. I mean, I thought Tony Romo was going to come in and shoot me up, but no, it wasn't.
Rub some dirt on it. Get back out there.
Nah, he got remember against the Niners, Jerry Jones came down. Tony Romo got the shot, came back, beat the Niners. That's what I did, man. I got the same exact shot.
Rub some dirt on it. Smacked him on the,
No, I gave him a shot. What dirt?
I'm
what
just
are you
joking.
talking about? They
It's
got
an
him
old
out.
saying.
They got Jerry Jones came down there and everything. All right, what do we got? What else we got here? I'm good though.
Yeah. So if you guys want to, here's a question for you. Who should start?
I'll read it. Let me read it because you're fading away. You're like the ghost of Sam Darnold. So you barely exist. Damien says, who should I start? Non-PPR. Eli Mitchell, Kareem Hunt, Drake, and Gaskin. I need to start too. Let's go with Gaskin and Mitchell. And if something happens, Mitchell might not play. It's not a stinger. His shoulder stinger could be more. It is more because stingers go away right away. Could be serious. I don't know. Could be limit. I don't know. But Friday's practice is going to be the biggest tell sign. So I'm going to go with Gaskin, Mitchell, and then my third option would be Hunt. I think Jacobs is going to play. Although I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean,
I'd go Hunt and Gaskin to be safe, honestly. I think the shoulder might be still aggravated a bit. You want to go probably with Hunt.
Well, but I mean the upside, Green Bay Packers.
You also just gave the percentile of how like Hunt's going to score 50% chance of scoring a touchdown. What's
the percent chance Eli Mitchell's going to score if he plays? High. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, non-PPR.
50% isn't that
only
high.
Because it's non-PPR.
50%.
Only because it's non-PPR.
That was a strategy. Also, yeah, it is. I didn't think of non-PPR.
Yeah, that's
Hunt
the only reason I would say with Mitchell, because Hunt will catch at least 3 or 4 passes.
If Mitchell's active, you have to start him. That's how I look at it. I understand if people don't want to start him.
When you paid 100% fab, you got to start him.
I mean, how else did you?
I'm just saying. No,
how else did you get him? How else did you get Eli Mitchell?
There's a couple people who drafted him.
Pretty rare.
It's true.
Pretty rare that
in a redraft. Deep league. In a very rare redraft.
Pretty rare. It's pretty rare that he was rostered in
a couple guys I know picked him up that morning, though. That morning when he was fair game, boom. As soon as they got the news that Sermon was out, he was already rostered. And at that
with
point,
the 90, that was a smart ad. Some people
that was the move. That was the move. So
that was the move.
That's how you also could get Mitchell this year.
Yeah.
At least. Let's move on.
James says, you think I can package Robert Woods and Drake to get an RB2? I had CMC. I honestly don't, because you are selling, nothing good. You're selling low both times. The name of the game is to sell high and buy low. And you know what? You reek of desperation because the first guy they see when they look at your roster is CMC. So you're desperate. Please don't take this personal, James. I'm just in the shortest amount of time, I'm just telling you what's real. So you're desperate and you're selling low. You just, you're not going to get, the other guy has all the leverage. Oh, you want a good running back, James? Okay.
Don't give me Drake if you want a good.
Yeah. What do you, what am I?
You're not going to get it with Drake there.
I'm going to get the Ron Rams wide receiver and a Raider running back who's never going to be featured. Who's Peyton Barber starting over.
Yeah. Drake is not going to get you an RB2, unfortunately, even packaging with Robert Woods.
It's just bro. What you want to do is sell high, right? That's why I was on Courtland Sutton so much after week 1. I was like, guys, Courtland Sutton. Then he explodes. Like, this is, you know what I mean? That's it's the best example of buy low, sell high.
It really
week 1, Courtland Sutton's like, oh my God, what do I do with this guy? Week 2, elite wide receiver. And that's buy low, sell high, man. That's the game. Right now, you are selling so low. Peyton Barber starting over your running back, and Robert Woods is definitely the wrong wide receiver on the Rams
offense.
I still like Bobby Woods. Don't get me wrong. He's still decent. But right now, you're not going to be able to get 1.5 peanuts for him.
Cooper Kupp looks unstoppable. But...
Cooper Kupp, bro. Who did Tony Romo throw to in his career? Jason Witten.
Terrell Owens was his quarterback. He had other guys too.
Let's say Cooper Kupp's looking like Cole Beasley, Dez Bryant, and Jason Witten all in one body. And you're getting the other guy. So not excited. Yeah, I'm just unfortunate, man. You gotta work your way. Maybe spend 100% on Chuba. I mean, it sounds like you're desperate. I think you sound like you're desperate enough. Oh God, look at Dak's question. He says Dez. Don't click on it. He says
no. He's just saying who Tony Romo.
No, I know, no. But yeah, he's saying Dez. He's saying that Cooper Kupp looks like Dez and Tia. Oh no. I got you. Yes, he's saying
answering our question.
No, because it has to be Jason Witten because that's his BFF. So that was the connection because you guys missed. Cooper Kupp is Stafford's guy. I think it's obvious. Whatever happens after this, he's still his guy. You know, like. They have a connection. He's going to him. Even if Cooper Kupp isn't a top 5 wide receiver by the end of the day, it was obvious it was that connection. I wasn't that high on Cooper Kupp. I will toot my own horn, just a little toot here, because I did rank Cooper Kupp over Woods, and I do have him like in 2 leagues. So, I mean, thanks to you guys. Thanks to the community for voting on Kupp, convincing me. I'm not that stubborn. Convincing us. And getting me on your side to draft Cooper Kupp at the 5.02. It was hands down our best draft pick in the Throne League where we draft as a community.
Bob was a huge proponent of that.
Oh yeah, Bob was behind the Kupp movement, and I voted for Kupp at the end of the day, thanks to Bob. So, and then we look. He brought up that he's a great run blocker. I look at PFF. I think he's the best run blocking wide receiver in the game. I'm like, well, if you have any question who's starting on 2 wide receiver sets, even though they play 3 wide receiver, like even in 2 wide, it's going to be, Kupp will probably be in there. And so, man, that was great. And I also noticed the trend. I know this stuff is stupid, but it's always true, right? Julio Jones crushes it against the Bucs the first week. Next week, doesn't. That's just how, next time they play, they don't. This happened a few years ago. Patriots shut down Travis Kelce. Next time they play, they don't. Same thing. What do? You guys draft Kupp first. Boom, you're wrong. Then the next year you guys draft Wood. You just keep flip-flop. We always draft the wrong Rams. So I just switched them. I just said, you know what? Like, what's the difference between these two? I was like, not much at all. And honestly, I looked at the age and I was like 29. There could be a slight curtail with Woods. Kupp's 28. I'll just go with the younger guy, swap them. And I wasn't I wasn't like Kupp all day. I'll admit that, but at least I did the Kupp over Woods in my rankings, even if it was only 1 spot. Nacho. Okay. Sue Shane says Dynasty. When you trade in high stakes, high stakes Dynasty. Okay. Should you lowball first or just put best foot forward? I honestly don't know the answer to this. Trading is one of my weaknesses. What do you think?
Oh, I have a good opinion on this. I honestly think you should go for a fair offer that you think that they will accept. And I look at things, for example, backup running backs to pair with the starting running back. I made a Debbie trade today where I traded Michael Carter. I traded Ty Johnson. This is a really deep league, guys. And I also traded Tony Jones to a Kamara owner and ended up getting back Curtis Samuel and Julian Fleming, which he's a great wide receiver in the 2023 class. In any case, the point is I try to match it up fairly to where the other guy may look at it and go, hey, yeah, this looks pretty good. And if he doesn't and he counters, then I might have something that I still will accept in front of me.
So you may lowball, but not too much. Don't do a stupid lowball, right? Like don't go too much.
I've seen so many people in the Discord talk mess about bad offers that they get, and I gotta feel like they're not going to accept future offers from those same people if that's what they're, it's relationships too. Another thing about trading, especially in Dynasty, almost always, it's not a bad idea to send a message. Just DM the guy. Obviously, if you're in Sleeper now, you can send a DM with your trade. Good
advice. Yeah, even on FFPC where I play, you can message people as well.
And it
or leave a message on the board too. It's a general message to everybody.
it's a quick thing like, hey, I sent you an offer. I think this would work. Let me know what you think. I'm open to counters. It's
So
as
what
easy
about
as
the
that.
high stakes part? Now, this is two questions here. Does the high stakes factor in, or is it more so about dedicated leagues versus crappy leagues? So there's a league where people kind of don't care. Some look, if you guys are in a dynasty league where people don't care, it's free. Just find a way and get out now.
Seriously,
Like
yeah.
your
It's
marriage
just
is gonna end. Just sign the divorce papers or like annulment,
it'll get
whatever.
boring after a
Do the
while.
like just get out of it. But is a high stakes a factor, or is it a factor of how much people care versus how much people don't care in league? So like, is that even is either one a factor, or is that what I'm getting at?
Exactly, yeah. Um, I think that the money part is a huge factor. Those guys are going to really take it seriously, and they're going to think long term, really long term. Some of these guys in these cheaper leagues, they're thinking in a year or two, I'll be out of this league anyway. So it doesn't matter if I trade these guys, I'm taking a huge risk. In a high stakes league, they're not going to take really big risk like that. They're going to want to make sure that the trades are really even on both
This is a
sides.
good point. Yeah. Now look, I'm gonna make a huge point on top of your point. When you play on FFPC, there is Big Brother. There is a commissioner who's part of the company that's very trustworthy. That's not in the league. Also, there are several rules. If you trade away a first round pick at all, anytime, right? You trade away a first round pick, you have to pay a deposit for the next year. Another deposit on top of the deposit that you're already paying a deposit for next year. You have to pay another. So you're basically like you have to pay next year. They're
And
already
that's a
ahead. You see
really
what
good
I mean?
rule.
They're already ahead of it. So it's like, hey, if you're trading away your future, you got to pay for next year. You can leave, but you just paid for the next guy. So
Yeah,
the
and
next
there's an
guy that
orphan
comes,
team that,
there's an
someone
orphan
will take
team,
over.
and there's $300 sitting there.
Right.
So
And then
so
they'll have
they
to
don't
pay
they
for
don't
their
they
next
don't lose
year.
out. The league's still good because it's easy to take. When you give someone incentive, like, hey, this team's 50% off. Hey, this team's 90% off. Like, well, what's the buying? $300. Well, I mean, heck yeah, I'm a dynasty freak. So and that's another, a lot of people don't know in high stakes. They run it like this. Like you can't just do that in a $10 league. People will just be like, look, I'm a dumb teenager. It's a $10 league. They're not thinking long. They're not even thinking, let alone that. I honestly, in some leagues, Drew, I don't think they're thinking even ahead of to what you said. Like, oh, I'm not thinking long. They just don't think, and they just go like that, and then they end up doing they end up just quitting. Can't even deal
Yeah,
with
and
the
that's what
guy.
happens.
Can't find him. He might respond in 4-6 months, might not. Whatever. Honestly, one of the biggest things that keeps our dynasty leagues going is the brand. Like, it's people are scared. Like, oh, it's a couch league. Like, if I leave, I'll know I'm gonna get replaced in 0.001 seconds. Like, I know
Yeah,
it.
and
So
you
it
probably
has.
wouldn't show your face on the
It's a
Discord too often.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You will be shunned from the community. You'll be that guy who left on bad terms. And so it's just some people might not care, but I'm just saying that elevates the league. It doesn't become a high stakes league, but it does elevate the league and it becomes more serious. People think twice usually in
There's a
more
set
in
of
a couch fan
standards.
league. Yeah,
Yeah, it's almost like we have, gentleman's agreement there.
but the high stakes thing was a good topic. I didn't think of that, and that's another thing I added to what you're saying. Like, yeah, they don't even let you trade away first round picks unless you're paying another deposit. Like, they're ahead of the game. Like, they're not like there's no way to get out. Like, oh, I'm gonna trade all my picks, win this week. If not, I'm just gonna quit. Like, yeah, we already got your money for next year, Doc. Go ahead and you can go ahead and quit, but you paid for next year too. So you paid 2 buy-ins and you lost. Like, you learned nothing. Sue
I think we
Shane.
should
I
go ahead.
co-own one high stakes and I find it harder to get a deal done than any other paid leagues I'm in. I think you should message more, but people are probably more reluctant to pull the trigger. But I think you need to communicate more with your league mates. I find in these leagues, actually, people do communicate because they're all dedicated dynasty guys. So I think you need to send out more messages. Maybe before, I think before even proposing anything. Drew,
Might
what is
not be a
that?
bad idea. Yeah, to
Yeah.
talk it through, like especially in the Debbie League, you have to talk through a trade. because we don't have it set where you can trade the IDP players or the kickers. So you got to actually talk out the trade first and then go to the commissioner and go, hey, can you turn on the settings so we can make this trade? I find that that's actually not bad at all. I totally prefer hashing it out and then giving him my reasoning on certain things. Like, hey, I feel like this guy's good, but I feel like I rank this guy higher. That's why I'm asking for a little bit more on top. It just makes it easier, especially if you want to, continue this league for 5, 10, however many years, right? That might not be a bad way to go.
You can also post messages on the message board to everybody.
True.
Fishing asks, what's a high stakes league? Is it $250 and up? What's considered? It's I would say anything above 150 to 200, anything above that range, I think would be considered high stakes. Really depends how much money you got. Because if you're rich, 250 is a joke, right? But if you're poor as hell, like $100 is very high stakes to you. That's extreme. So 250 would be considered high stakes, I think. And I actually reached out to Sushane and I told him that I do want to co-own a high stakes dynasty league with him. And I'm thinking in the $300, $500. I think 500 is perfect. 500. This only 250 for each of us.
That's awesome.
We draft together, and then he does and it could be best ball to where he doesn't. We don't have to do anything except waivers. That's the only thing. So we draft waivers.
I don't know if I would consider that fun though. To me, part of Dynasty is making the trades and the moves in season. But I get your point.
Well, you got to understand. You can't compare. You guys can compare yourself to me. I'm wearing a monkey knife fight shirt. I got a Furious. This is Furious George right here. Look, before I had to look, somebody literally made a doll out of me. Right? I'm a freak. I need my time. And actually, Drew, it is a lot of fun because how many dynasty leagues you're in?
4 total.
That's a decent amount. But I'm saying, once you get, Sushane's in 7, 9, like. Best ball has its advantages, and you're also going for upside. It's fun, right? Because like guys like Tyreek Hill they're amazing, right? Boomer bust wide receiver, so it's a lot of fun, and I love it. I mean, to me, the best part of Dynasty, really the only thing to me is the draft. I love rookie drafts. I love startup drafts.
Yeah, that is fun.
It's amazing when you do best ball. You're able to actually do more than 4 leagues. Now I'm gonna, tell you if you start getting more than 4, more than 5, I'm gonna be worried about you. I think I think it's too many.
You tap it out after a certain amount.
It's a lot, man. I'm in like 15 leagues. Like it's a lot of work. It's hard. I hired 3 people to manage 3 of them, so it's a lot of work. And that's why best ball is so sick. And I think it's better for Cole. But to each his own. Like I'm not, if you don't want to do best ball, don't. But I think with me and Sushane, it's going to be cool because like we don't have to. Sushane's also he's part of the team. He's doing the RB snaps and targets. Oh, yeah. And if we continue this relationship, I'm going to give him more work. And hopefully Fantasy Couch is going to succeed and keep growing. So he's going to have more responsibility. So no, I don't want him in 12 dynasty leagues. It's just, that's just the fact. It's his life. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But I'm going to give him my recommendation. I'm going to give him my recommendation. And, if he says, go to hell, I'm going to do whatever I want, then that's fine. Like that's up to you. But I'm going to tell him, don't be in 9 dynasty league. I'm gonna tell him that. I've already told him, so he can do as he pleases. But it's a lot of leaks.
Here, before you answer that question, Sushane wanted to answer your comment there.
It's the truth. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Your cap is 5 dynasty leagues. I'm gonna tell you. If you say go to hell, I'm gonna be in 7. That's fine. It's your life. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything after that. But I will give you my recommendation. Don't do more than 5, Drew. That's it. And then you're gonna really start seeing these pros with best ball. I'm telling you, get to over 5, you'll be like, ooh, best ball. That looks nice. You draft.
I'm gonna give you the 5 that you can have. You can have a regular fantasy, dynasty league.
Oh, I'm saying a 5 premium. Dynasty league.
You could get it. I know you get a tight end premium league. You get a Debbie league. You get an IDP league. And then there was one other one that I was just on the tip of my tongue, but you could and a best ball. Sorry, best ball. So you would get all 5 of those.
Superflex?
Superflex was the first one I meant to say. I just said
Okay.
regular, but I meant
Yeah.
Superflex since that's kind of the new regular.
Superflex. I love Superflex.
Yes, Superflex, Tight End Premium, IDP, Devi, best ball. Those 5.
My Dynasty League, the high stakes I enter is $250 buy-in, Superflex, Triple Flex, best ball, Tight End Premium. It's amazing. I love it. Oh my god, it's sexy, amazing, bro. It's so sexy because it has it's so balanced. You honestly don't know, am I going quarterback? Am I going running back? Am I going wide and it's tight end premium? Or am I going tight end? Like, it makes all 4 positions extremely valuable. All right.
That was this good question that came in, I thought. So Kittle starts
Should I trade Kittle
these last couple weeks?
Prismatic Port. Should I trade Kittle or hold on to him? By the way, guys, this is from Twitch. Thank you so much for following me on Twitch. Go give it a follow. Let's get to 100 followers. We got 60 followers yesterday. Yeah, let's keep it going. I'm on Twitch, baby. I'm live streaming on Twitch. Get the Twitch up. We'll do a giveaway. I'll live stream there more. We'll do something. Twitch has been amazing. I have some crazy ideas for the off season too. So, man, let's Twitch it up. Twitch.tv/fantasy couch. Let's get to 100 followers. So my answer, and I think I'm a very self-aware guy. It's coming from a stubborn place. Number 1 stubbornness is with Kittle, and number 2 stubbornness is I don't sell low. I'd sell low on Ronald Jones in my Dynasty League. I'm trying to do that now. And that's really it. I don't 99% of the time I don't sell low, and I like Kittle. And Shanahan is unpredictable. So for all the reasons you guys are saying Shanahan's unpredictable, that could also mean that Kittle could explode. And so you're going to get like nothing for him. You drafted him so high. I would hold on to him. I think you don't have a choice. I don't know how you get out of this except to hope. Look, guys, we're wrong a lot of times. Kittle could explode. If you're going to trade him, wait for him to explode. I think this Packers game it could be a good look for Kittle with the running backs banged up, and Ayuk. I don't know what he is. It's not. I
just traded for Kittle actually to bring it up. We just traded Sushane and I a 2023 first round pick, Brian Edwards, and I had Cam Akers on my IR. He's in rebuild mode in this league, so he actually sent this trade to me, and I literally, as soon as I saw the message, he's like, "Hey, would you do this trade?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I would.
This guy's in a redraft, though. I'm
You're probably right.
I'm right. We have a redraft audience, mostly.
So, yeah, I would hold on to Kittle myself. I think he's going to still have a great season, big time. So let's move on. I think there was a question about a Bijan Robinson comparison, and I don't honestly have enough on him to be real to tell you like who I compare him to. But I think that he is going to be the best running back prospect for the next 5 years. Legit, like from what I've read. So I don't want to say Dak who I compare him to necessarily. I'll try to give you a comp maybe in a couple weeks. But from what I've read, he's just super fast, athletic, strong, just does not go down. He'll take like 2-3 tacklers with him on every single play. And he plays for Texas. They've been known to produce good running backs. Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams. I'm sure I'm missing some other studs in there too. But supposedly he's going to be like the best out of the next like 5 years worth of running backs. Better than like Saquon prospect, they're saying. And Saquon was like the legit best running back prospect we've had in like the last 5 years.
And this is the 2023 class?
Yeah, so this is the running back, University of Texas. Sushane could add more to this, I'm sure, but this is what he's basically saying. Saquon Barkley is basically what we're comparing him to.
One of my favorite NFL players of all time. So that's a great. His high-end comparisons are Dalvin Cook and Kareem Hunt, and his low-end comp is David Montgomery. Is this
that's how it says.
Website? It's not really.
I think I found out how or why we're running so slow here. I'd had like 2 windows open on accident that I think were. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no lag now. So that's
I just totally clicked out a bunch of stuff. So it was research I was trying to
Dak sold this comment.
Yeah, he looks incredible, I gotta say. There's other good running backs too, like Tank Bigsby is going to be ridiculous. But Bijan Robinson's still a notch above. Who's more valuable in Dynasty right now, Cam Akers or J.K. Dobbins? It's definitely J.K. Dobbins. Just the
With the
injury for the
injury.
Achilles is worse. J.K. Dobbins is for sure going to be back up to at least like 85-90% probably to start the season, I believe. And he'll be better off next year than Akers will probably for the rest of his career. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with what you said. I mean, you just got to trust what you brought to the podcast earlier. Achilles. I mean, also Snake McVay, and
I can try to talk about him, Sushane, but I'm going to have to try to pronounce it first. So it's from Clemson, their new quarterback prospect, DJ Ugalaleonlea. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, I won't even try again. But yeah, he's having some trouble. I mean, the coaches really want him to get back to fundamentals. His like yard per attempt or yard per completion is like 5.5 right now. So they can't get the ball downfield at all. And he's just not looking accurate, or the timing's off. The whole offense hasn't had many big plays, except for Will Shipley. He's had some decent plays. But then Ohio State, oh my goodness, this just looks rough. I mean, the stat lines look pretty decent, but some of these Ohio State, and I don't know the guy's name off the top of my head. I'm losing. Just a shame. Throw it in the chat. The Ohio State quarterback. I watched one game. They still won the game, but he was just so like hit and miss each play. I mean, one play would be great, one play would be bad. I think he had 2 interceptions that game. I'm gonna have to get back to you on more research on that. But yeah, there's a new guy coming out, Ewers. He's coming out, and he's going to be the next big thing in Ohio State. CJ Shroud, that's who it is, CJ Shroud. He's one guy you probably want to stay away from in Devy drafts, at least not right now. You wouldn't want to take him. Obviously, people aren't drafting Devy right now, but just basically his stock is down with his ineffectiveness.
let's do a like every 4 weeks or something. Let's do a dynasty segment. Let's do a Debbie Drew dynasty.
I think we should even, we'll definitely do something like that. And yeah, any questions come in, I'll try to answer those too, like on the side through Twitter.
What's Ethan's question? So isn't that like the only one? Might as well answer it. Ethan on Twitch, baby.
Where is it? Oh, there you go.
Hey man, would you trade away Chris Carson for Sutton or J-Rob? No. I desperately need a wide receiver too. What are you doing? You couldn't get Marvin Jones, Jacoby. That's a bad value trade. You're trading a workhorse running back that's solid for a good wide receiver too, but that's terrible value. Oh, you're getting James Robinson. I wouldn't do it. Don't do it. Quality over quantity. Don't do it. Starting James Robinson, there's nothing more depressing in life than that.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on this. I also want to go back 1 second to CJ Shroud is battling a shoulder injury. So that's what's a little bit more stressful for Ohio State, is they're going to have to start either Kyle McCord or Jack Miller, 2 young guys who are not experienced. So not only is CJ not playing very well, they're going to have to rely on some rookie/young quarterbacks in Ohio State right now, which not very good situation. But let's move on to another question.
There's no more. Oh, there is. Birdman.
No, Mike. There you go.
And I want to know what you guys think of this trade. Mike Williams for Shepard and Drake. Now, Drake, if you're desperate for a RB4, that's Drake. If you're not, stick with Mike Williams. You guys heard my take on Shepard. I don't like him. Shepard's a sell high. Galladay, he could be healthy this year. And Evan Ingram's coming back. It's going to be different. Trust me, guys. Galladay yelled at Daniel Jones. Things are going to change. Things are going to change in the Big Apple.
I like Danny Dimes going forward. I like Kenny Galladay too. As soon as they put it together, I think Galladay is going to be at least a wide receiver too. I mean, he got to be really, but I think he can't be with Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I don't like this trade. Yeah, and like I said, unless you absolutely need RB depth. Charlie, in a redraft, is it worth dropping one of these guys for Pittman? I already probably tell you no. Corey Davis, Ayuk, Rondell Moore, Antonio Brown, Tony Pollard. Nope. No. Michael Pittman is going to be a fantasy headache. Don't do it. You never want to start Michael Pittman. You just don't want to do it. What have we seen from the Colts? Okay, we've seen this, right? Now Carson Wentz, what we've seen is here. Now over here, Carson Wentz has 2 injured ankles. And T.Y. Hilton just might come back and play and not retire. That could happen. It could happen. T.Y. Hilton might not retire tomorrow. So
yeah,
don't do it.
You've convinced me not to get high on Pittman. Even last week's performance, I'm not sold or anything. So I'm gonna have to say, keep what you got.
It's gonna be a roulette with the Colts, and it's not a good. The Colts are not a good team. They're not a good team.
You convinced me, and I still don't believe last week's performance can be duplicated over and over. I don't think we got to this question.
I like a lot what the Colts did, but they also made some huge franchise mistakes. They did that to Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck didn't do that to them. They did that to Andrew Luck. They went after the D-line. They didn't get any receivers, anything. And look, we're seeing the result right now. This is what the Colts. So this is what happens when you make GM moves like this. And look, they haven't done everything wrong. I'm not saying they're not terrible in every aspect, but some of these important aspects they really missed on. And you're seeing what happens when you trade for Carson Wentz, who's physically and mentally fragile. We're seeing what happens when you have the worst O-line for years, and then when you finally have a good O-line, your quarterback retires. We're seeing that. It's unfortunate, but nonetheless, the facts is this is what the Colts are right now. Luca asks Devontae Smith or Clyde Edwards-Helaire at full flex PPR. Leaning Smith. Clyde Edwards-Helaire could bounce back, but I'm telling you, we have everyone. I'm speaking for every human on planet Earth has 0% confidence in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Definitely part of that is emotional. We don't want to get emotional, but definitely part of that is just that he sucks. And Devontae Smith
doesn't suck.
Huge. Well, this week, man, he's going against the Cowboys. Oh my God. I'm talking about insane top 8 wide receiver upside this week for Devontae Smith. You don't want to have this guy on your bench. Trust me. Not over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Oh my God. Mike literally sold Clyde Edwards-Helaire for 2 peanuts this week. It has happened.
Don't even bring up those trades.
I don't know what he's going to do with those 2 peanuts. I don't know if he's going to put it in one of those frames. I don't know what he's going to do with them, but he did sell Clyde Edwards-Helaire for 2 peanuts. Maybe it's a camping trip. Peanuts last a long time. They're a good, nice food, good source of protein.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? Honestly, peanuts aren't even that healthy. They're just a cheap snack. They're not even that good for you guys. Number 1 allergy in the world, peanuts. It kills a lot of people.
Next question.
I'm allergic to them.
For example,
Ethan on Twitch, baby. Let's go. Twitch. How about Carson for Lockett? I can't do it.
Yeah, running backs are too valuable.
Why are you trying to sell Carson for a wide receiver? So what you do? So just to be clear, I was talking about buy low, sell high, like whatever, blah 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 blah. So yes, Carson, you could consider him a sell high, but you're still selling a workhorse for a wide receiver. That's something I would never do. So if I get Carson, I would need to go up, right? I would need, what do you think, Calvin Ridley?
Yeah,
that's a question. It's still debatable.
That's a range.
Still debatable.
That you can shoot for, but I don't know if you're gonna get to that range. I think you're probably looking at like
AJ Brown. What about AJ Brown?
I think it's too high still. Like a Terry McLaurin.
I like Terry McLaurin more than AJ Brown. I don't know what you mean too high.
Okay.
What do you mean by too high? What do you mean by too high?
Maybe a David Moore. I just don't. I mean,
what the heck are you talking about?
I think Lockett's
Stop listening to this guy. What are you talking about anymore? I don't understand what you're saying anymore. What are you talking about? Okay, AJ Brown. Let's stop. What about AJ Brown?
You're not going to get him. That's a way to shoot. You can shoot for the stars, but I don't think
AJ Brown is a buy low. You don't think Carson, AJ Brown? I wouldn't do it. By the way, I wouldn't do it. I like Carson more than AJ Brown right now. So I wouldn't do it on either side. I wouldn't sell Carson for AJ Brown
for sure.
And if I'm AJ Brown, I would give it to him 100. I would take that trade. So I think. Have you seen Tannehill? I have Tannehill. He's garbage. He sucks.
I don't think he threw to Julio Jones last week and they got a touchdown. The connection's just getting started. It's only week 3. AJ Brown.
Okay, that's the other wide receiver.
Every game last season.
That's the other wide receiver.
Look at the stats. Tannehill's going to bounce back.
Okay,
they got a guy who ran for 3 touchdowns and 100 and whatever yards last week. He's insane.
You're making assumptions. You're making assumptions.
I don't think anybody's selling AJ Brown super low.
I'm telling you what I would do, and I'm telling you that I think that's a fine. I wouldn't even do that. I don't want you to trade Carson for AJ. I think Carson is more valuable.
AJ Brown is actually better ranking.
Well, that's a good. Then that's McLaurin a good.
This year. So
what's it gonna hurt?
Is AJ Brown? You could shoot for that, but you probably reach.
Okay, so in your opinion, that's a good.
That's what I'm saying.
Sending it's good. I don't think it's that far out of reach, bro. That is selling high,
acceptable for
selling high and buying low. It works.
It can, yeah. No,
it works. I've seen it.
I think you're not going to get AJ Brown. I still rank AJ Brown higher than Terry McLaurin in my mind, even in a redraft. He's just got more talent. That's a way better offense. You got Heineke on one side, and you got Tannehill on the other side, and you got a guy who can run the ball for 200 yards any given Sunday, who's going to take pressure off, play action passes. Plus, you got a Hall of Famer on the other side who's catching passes as well, who's not hurt right now. So you've got a way better player than AJ Brown.
I wish Antonio Gibson
long term
some of these fantasy points.
If you want to look at points right now, yeah, I'm just saying, like Antonio Gibson's due for a breakout game too. You know, he's due for a couple good games.
Okay, all
just
right.
Like Justin Jefferson, he's on the verge of a big game. I mean,
so you're making an assumption. I'm telling you right now, I am more in tune to the fantasy heads. That's not out of the question. AJ Brown would not be out of the question. It's not. Trust me. People panic.
I don't think you're gonna get it, but
yeah, I could show you my DMs. It's all. It's literally all panics. It's all panic DMs. It's 100% of this people panicking. It's not out the question. All I can tell you what I think. I think McLaurin's better. So, it would have to be McLaurin for me. McLaurin or better. It'd have to be like McLaurin would be great.
Fine.
What about Allen Robinson?
This was good.
Talk about a buy low. What about Allen Robinson
and Terry McLaurin were like drafted right around the same rate? Because
who cares about that?
I care about that.
It doesn't matter. So talk about Allen Robinson.
Who's sending you a DM worried about this and that in week 2? I'm 0-2 in the draft party league, and I could care less. My team is still better than half of you guys. I know this.
Okay, so would you go for it? Don't talk about the draft. Would you? Carson for Robinson.
This is my first round pick for a 3rd round pick, even in week 10. You know what I'm saying? I'm still looking at that in my back of my mind. I'm never going to send my 1st round pick Kamara for the 2nd round pick, whoever. You know, like I'll just don't do that. Like that's my point. I still look at all of the things. I look at projections. I look at the past. That's. You know, that's why.
Okay. What about? But I'm saying in this, I don't think it's really that relevant in this point. Would you do it?
We've
Allen
gone with
Robinson.
Yeah, I would. I mean, Allen Robinson's probably your Terry McLaurin level, is what I'm saying. Especially when you get Justin Fields next week. Give it a week or 2. He's going to hit the ground running. Let's hope. And then Allen Robinson, wide receiver 1 on a decent Bears offense, who's got Montgomery and you got Mooney on the other side. So you got some talent. So yeah, I think Allen Robinson is going to plod along throughout the season and catch 6-7.
Carson for Allen Robinson. You would trade away Carson.
I don't think I would ever trade away Carson for those guys right now. I mean, maybe AJ Brown, if you're right. Like if I can get someone to take
AJ Brown is like your lowest.
To me, is like you're robbing them. Like, yeah, I think you're robbing
your lowest
if
point.
You send Carson for AJ Brown is robbing Carson. Like that's
me. I wouldn't do it for AJ Brown. I wouldn't do it for Allen Robinson. I would do it for Terry McLaurin or
that's
better.
Just how you rate
yeah. So at least we gave this guy a decent answer. I would not do it for.
Clip this one. This one was good
for Lockett.
But there was more questions while we did that, so let's get to those too.
Yeah, we'll answer a few questions and we'll end it here.
But no, that was good. I really can talk it out with you at any point like that.
What are you doing with Robbie Couch? You guys overdrafted him. You didn't listen to me. You guys drafted him in round 6. Where'd you draft him, Sean? Round 6? I told you, man. Great value in round 9, but I mean, you drafted him in round 6. There's nothing I can do for you. This literally, I mean, I tried trading him away in Dynasty because I got him, for free a long time ago, but like no one wanted to buy him. Trust me, in the Dynasty league. So I mean, there's literally nothing you can do with them. Literally,
Yeah, it's dumpster fire right now.
Who's gonna get a wide receiver 4? You drafted him as your wide receiver 3. He's a wide receiver 4, which means he's unstartable, and no one's gonna buy him.
A while. That
You're not even
gonna move as well.
This guy's not. You're not gonna get any cashews. You're not gonna get any dried cranberries. You're definitely not getting any peanuts for Robbie Anderson. In Superflex, got Robbie at the 7-8 turn. Tell me, that's round 6. By the way, that comes out to round 6, maybe the late round 5. Maybe.
I wanted you to get back to Twitch here. King agrees.
Hey, can I get your guys' opinion? Got a trade offer for Odell and Cordell Patterson. He did the Cardinal sin. He said Robinson. There's a James and an Allen.
Yeah, and it's really long.
Emmanuel Sanders. Great job, Drew.
Any other Twitch happy for a second there.
Yeah, you got to bring. Your job is to put good questions on the board. That was a terrible one. There we go. This looks good. This looks easy. Amar, our boy. Full PPR. Who you starting? Saquon or Jamar Chase? We're going freaking Saquon Barkley, baby. He's going to blow up this week. Are you kidding me? Go with Saquon Barkley. It's not even a question, man. Start Saquon Barkley. I'm risking my whole career on Saquon Barkley. I have him ranked at a top 5 running back. I think the upside is insane. They play the Falcons. Like, I don't know. I mean, either I'm going to be wrong or right. And it's got to be week 3. There's no more coddling. There's no more BS. I either suck or I'm right. I think that's it, man. I think there's no backpedaling on this. Let's go all in on Saquon Barkley. I got him top 5. Let's say top 6, top 7. To be conservative. Right. And let's go all in. 84% snap count on a Thursday night football game. And that's only 3-4 days after the Sunday game. We thought he was going to be coddled again, but he got 84% RB snaps. He's almost back to himself. And he's going against the freaking Falcons. Let's go. Let's end it. No more. Let's end the podcast here. All right, guys. Man, it's been great. We'll end the podcast here. Catch you on the next video or podcast. Peace out.